Yo, 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 what you saying? What you saying? Just a quick one on that. Yeah, don't worry about it anymore. We fixed it. We fixed the copyright driller. So that's fine. Don't worry about that. I think there is like one or two that we still can't actually use, but yeah, don't worry about that. That situation is fine, man. It's that's all fixed. We fixed it. Basically, long story short, you can basically pay like a monthly sum to allow you to use some music. And basically, we didn't change the card over in it, so basically the payment lapsed, and that's why we started getting copyrighted left, right, and centre. But it's all fine now. We are back on the good books, innit? We've been paying the drillers. So, yeah, as you can see, a quick random live stream. Plan for tonight. What is the plan? Well, we're going to be watching the Scotland versus Ukraine match. We're going to be watching that with our Xtra Club members. I think that's going to be that's a private stream, that one. So if you do want to get involved, become an Xtra Club member. The link is in the description. And sometimes there's a join button below me you can use. If you want to come and join us for that, that's going to be decent, watching Scotland, Ukraine. But this one, basically, just firing questions. You got any hot takes? You got any questions about City, about Premier League, about anything, about the channel, whatever, you got any questions, then just fire it in it. And basically it's just a bit of a Q&A, a bit of a random chat before. I'm only going to do it for about 20 minutes and then we'll move over to the Scotland game, but I just thought, boom, we'll do it. Max Cooper says, why don't you use a Man City version of the Haaland song? I don't know really. I actually just like that one though. I just like that one better. I mean, if people really want us to change it, we could change it. But I actually just like that tune, bro, to be honest. Dash, when will the Hot Ones video be uploaded? Everything's ready now, but basically the situation is this. We go on holiday on Saturday. So we did think about doing it on, like, tomorrow or Friday, but we was like, what about if it's really bad? Do you know what I mean? What about if it proper hurts your stomach or you get ill? It's going to ruin your holiday, innit? You know what I'm saying? And we don't want to ruin our holiday. So basically, it's all ready now. As soon as we get back on the Thursday. The United game is on the Sunday, so if we can, we'll record it in that few days there. If not, it'll be after the derby. But it's all ready to go. It's just we don't want to ruin our holiday, innit? So that's it. That's it, basically. Pepsi or Coca-Cola, says Mudgies. Ooh, that's a good one, Brie. If it's sugar-free, yeah, Pepsi Max. If it's normal, legit driller, Coca-Cola. There we go. I think both the Diet Pepsi and the Diet Coke are both the grimmest out of them all. Coke's the better with all the sugar, and Pepsi Max is the best without the sugar. That's my driller. Jack Lee, favourite Weatherspoons picture. I've not had a picture from there for time, man. I remember back in the day, yeah, because basically I used to work next to a Weatherspoons. For those that don't know, Weatherspoons is like a pub chain. Like the cheapest food and the cheapest beers, yeah. It gets slagged out. They've not got the best reputation, but in terms of just like going for drinks, it's pretty much like the best place you can go, price wise. And they used to do like they don't do it anymore, but they used to do three bottles of Sol for a £5, bro. You can't really complain. Watch along Italy versus England. You betcha, Elia. Yes, we will be watching that. We are going to be watching the Italy-England game, man. So yeah, that's going to be another driller. Yes, Jugger. Welcome to the Xtra Club, man. Appreciate you joining and helping support the channel. That's pretty sick. Thank you very much, Bray. I'm just going to go through the chat, by the way. I'm not going to do one by one. I'm just going to look up and answer the questions that I see. Favourite City moment, not including Aguero or Gundogan. Oh, that's a good one. That was from 55. Oh, that is an interesting one. You might say Yaya Toure in the FA Cup, but honestly, like one that I remember, and it was so mega. When Vinny Company scored the header against United in the 1-0, that atmosphere was insane. And after the game, everyone was just banging out Oasis, mate. It was proper class, proper class. So yeah, I'd probably go that day. Rangers or Celtic, says Alpha. Yeah, I almost did it. I almost got to do it. But no, I didn't get baited, but I almost did. I'm not really that fussed, to be honest, about the Scottish teams, just because, like, you know, I'm not Scottish, so I don't really care. If I did have to favour one, it'd probably just be Rangers, but it's, you know, I really, if I'm watching the Old Firm, I just want to see players flying in challenges, mate. I don't really have a favourite. Favourite Oasis song, says Jambo D. Well, funny enough, right? I have quite a few, but I really like Oasis, obviously. But yeah, what the one song that always like stays in my brain is the Master Plan, right? And the reason is because when I was growing up as a City fan, City were crap. You know what I mean? Like, I kind of missed the whole really bad period. You know what I mean? I missed the whole like Division 2, Division 3 thing. So that was obviously nice. But I was still watching City when, you know, in the early 2000s when it was still pretty poor. And no one in my school really was a City fan. They were all United fans, blah, 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 blah. And I felt like I was the only guy. Sometimes you'd feel like, is my club even a real thing? You know what I mean? Because I'm like one of the only guys who supports this team. Anyway, right, I remember going home once and I put on the music channel. And in fact, why did it come on? When was this tune released? Let's see when this song was released. Okay, no, so it wasn't this early. It must have been on for a random reason. Anyway, I was watching the music channel with the videos on, right? And the Master Plan came on, right? So I was watching the Master Plan. And if you've ever seen the Master Plan, it's like a cartoon. And basically, they're walking around Manchester, going in the houses and that. It's a bit of a weird video, but it's basically a cartoon. And on the walls in the cartoon, it's got MCFC sprayed on the walls. Now, what you got to remember is, for me, yeah, I was probably I must have been about 12, 13, something like that. I was watching this music video, yeah, and it's got MCFC on the walls, and I was like, my club, my rubbish club that doesn't win no games, yeah, gets battered all the time. It was on the wall, and I was like, this is mega. So that proper got me into Oasis. That's really what got me into Oasis. I probably have heard Oasis songs before that, but I didn't really understand the connection. And then when I watched that video, I was like, oh my God, these guys are City fans. Then you get into it, boom, you're in there, indie rock and that, you know what I'm saying? So that's how I got into Oasis, really, just because of that. Will you live the England matches? Nah, bro, the England matches are the only ones that we're not going to do in the World Cup, just because, like, we're going to try and do watch-alongs for pretty much every single game. But when England are on, and we're going to go out with our mates, you know what I mean? Because, like, we do the streams and that, we do the streams for City, but for England, it's like the one time I'm watching something that I'm, like, with my mates and getting on a sesh, so that's the only games, really, we won't be doing. But we're going to be doing watch-alongs of every other game, man. But there's loads of people, Developer, he does all the streams, so you go check him out. There's loads of people doing watch-alongs, isn't it? But yeah, the England games is the only one, really. Richard, why is the watch-along for Xtra Club members only? Xtra Club members help support the channel with their monthly payments and help us grow, help us put money into stuff, buy new cameras, buy equipment when it breaks, which it does a lot. So they get extra perks. And one of the perks is we do members-only streams, such as tonight, which is you can only come in if you're an Xtra Club member. And you can join by clicking the link in the description. And sometimes the stream is open to everyone, but sometimes you'll only be able to chat in the chat box if you're a member. And other ones like this are just completely open to everyone. So it's just giving back something extra to the people that help support the channel, because it means a lot, mate. So that's the reason why. How do you have your steak? Medium. I can go down to a medium rare at a push, but I kind of don't really want to, you know what I'm saying? So medium. I also don't do well done. There's got to be a bit of pink in there is basically what I'm saying. Steve Fryer, how far back do you go with City, LB? What's the first team and manager you got into? So, I've been a City fan all my life. My dad was a City fan, so I've got photos of me like as a kid, as a baby, like with City gear on. However, I really started getting into City probably when I was about seven or 8, which I feels like a fair age, you know what I mean? Before that, do you really understand what's fully going on? So it was kind of like in the Keegan era. It was just as we sort of been moving into the Etihad. That was sort of the time. So yeah, early 2000s, really 2002, 2003 was really when I started getting into it, bro. How am I a member? Says Joanne. Someone's gifted you a member, so we've got quite a lot of generosity in the community recently. We've Obeyed. I don't like mentioning people because I always forget who else is. But Obeyed, Otis, Darcy. I think Steve Fryer have just answered a question. Maybe gifted a membership at some point. Someone called Steve did. Paritosh. There's quite a few people at the moment been pretty generous with the time, man. So yeah, that's probably who it's been. A couple of super chats coming in rapid, so I'll go through them. 55 with a 5 says, does it annoy you at all when we get called plastic fans? Because I got it called a lot because I've only been supporting City for 3 years. Well, it doesn't bother me because I'm not a plastic fan. You know what I mean? So you call me what you want. I know my history with this football club, so that's fine. I guess it all depends on why you became a City fan. You know what I mean? It's not everyone's got it as easy as me, where I just grew up and my dad's a City fan, so I just started following City. Some people don't have a dad. Some people's parents don't like football. So then what you're going to do? You know what I mean? You're going to go with what your mates. Well, what about you? What about if you don't? You know, I've spoken to some Americans, right? You know, in the Discord server or on a chat, and they've been like, yeah, where I live, no one likes football. So then how is an American whose father or mother doesn't like football, whose mates don't really like football, how are they meant to decide what football club to support? Now, some of them will just go, oh, who's the best team? City, boom, right? That's what they want to do. Some people might do a random generator. That's what I did with my NFL team. Can't remember the team name. It was the not really PC name. Some Americans will know in the chat. Do you know what I mean? The name got changed, basically. I don't want to say it because I don't know where we're up to with the name. Some people, I spoke to not United fan, I spoke to an American who just picked us on the colour, like the colour. I think his NFL team or baseball team plays in blue, so he was just like, I'm gonna pick the blue, something like that. Do you know what I mean? So depends why you supported us, but at the end of the day, who cares, man? You know what I mean? Well, I mean, I'm not a kid, innit? You know what I mean? If someone calls me a plastic, it's like, all right, I'm what? What now? Do you know what I mean? Nice one, mate. You know what I mean? Sticks and stones and that, who cares, bro? Just dust it off. We're not top of the league, we're second, but you know what I mean? Ezekiel, yes, with a 5. Since our wingers have been underwhelming so far, do you think Pep should give chances to youngsters like Oscar Bob or Carlos Borges on the wing? I actually think Oscar Bob is better in the middle now. I don't think he's as good on the wing. Some people might disagree, that's just my opinion. I think he's really effective through the middle. Carlos Borges, yes. It's kind of funny because you got Mabude, who plays on the right, who played today for Scotland, and you got Carlos Borges, who plays on the left. And Carlos Borges, for me, is the one that's like probably got more of a chance of making it at City, only because of the way he plays, not because Mabude ain't good, but it's actually on the right-hand side that we're probably a little bit more in need of someone like Mabude. I think they both got a real good opportunity. I'm really, really liking Carlos Borges. If you guys come to the academy streams that I do with Gavin, we both rave about Carlos Borges. The way he plays football, it just suits City. And I can imagine him with Haaland in the middle, and it would be frightening, mate. So the answer is yes. Hopefully we can get an easy FA Cup tie at home or Carabao Cup after Chelsea if we beat them, and maybe they get given a chance. But because they both deserve at least a spot on the bench in one of them games. Neil with the 2 says, all my friends were United fans, so I decided City. There you go. But it's not easy. Do you know what I mean? I think sometimes people are like, well, one thing that I've always said, yeah, I've said this even before started doing the channel, is like, too much like disrespect gets given on the international fans, man. Because like, I mean, how are you meant to decide what football club to support? Do you know what I mean? Like I say, with my NFL team, I did it on a finger. I went on the Google, yeah, and typed in NFL team, whatever, generator or whatever, and it picked my team. Boom, there we go. That's my team. I'm not really that bothered about it. Do you know what I mean? But like, that's how I got. If I said to someone, who do you follow in NFL? I'd say, well, don't. But if I was, this is the team because that's what I got picked. Darcy with a 5 says, my earliest memory of City is when I found a City scarf in my dad's closet around 2010. Strange since I'm from Australia, but my dad was always a fan. There you go. So sometimes it can just be as weird as that. I found a scarf. Like I say, my mate, he's American. Just because we play in the same colour kit as whatever sport he liked, I forget it is now. 55 with the 2. I only like football for 3 years, so that is why. There you go then. There you go. And what I'd say is, who cares, man? Who cares, innit? If someone calls you like plastic or whatever, and what? You know, who cares, man? You know what I'm saying? I just wouldn't get like, just wouldn't be asked. Do you know what I mean? I'd just be like, yeah, whatever. Like, I'm not really not that bothered, innit? Nick Toll says, how's it about all for Ukraine here. Favorite animal. Favorite animal. I always grew up, liking the cheetahs. Do you know what I mean? I like the cheetahs. But then I got a little bit bored of the cheetahs because I found out that they can only run. Like, because apparently the cheetahs is like the fastest animal, right? But they can only run for like a really short time because the head overheats. They ain't got that cooling system, right? So then I got a bit of a flawed design that. So I was like, I kind of moved on from the cheetah. I do like a dog. Yeah, I mean, I do like a dog, but I don't know, man. I don't. I think it's got to be like an African like animal. Do you know what I mean? Like a lion. Lions are pretty cool. But yeah, I moved on from the cheetah. I don't like the cheetahs, innit? I seen cheetahs hunt. They're sick, Nictor. There you go. In fact, my parents are in South Africa right now, Nictor. There you go. Little fun fact for your bro. Sending me pictures every day. Yeah, they're buzzing. Boot is pronounced boot. Yeah, sorry, bro. I don't know that, innit? Carl in the chat says, I was working out in the US Virgin Islands a few years back. Went to a whiskey bar and they had a signed Nigel de Jong. There you go. That's pretty sick. Just popped on FIFA 23 web app and packed Inform KDB. Buzzing. There you go. Super Sergio, what NFL team do you follow? I can't remember the name. They've changed the name. You guys will know what it is, right? It wasn't a PC name, so they had to change the name. But I don't know what they're called now. Someone could put it in the chat so I actually know, because I genuinely don't know what they're called. Basically, they've changed the name though, innit? Stephen, that's what they were called, but I don't think we're allowed to say that anymore. So I think it must be that. Washington Commanders. There you go. Boom. Commanders. Yeah, there we go. Thank you, guys. That's who it is. But I can't remember the last time I've seen one of their games. Where we're up to. Professional Idiot. Yes, with a 5.
He's on fire.
Says, I picked City because of FIFA. There you go. It can be easy as that. Lou back with the 2 says, I picked City because KDB roasted us in the 2014 World Cup. There you go. That's pretty easy, isn't it? I'm not the real Buffy. Says, I get called a fake F1 fan by Hamilton fans, all because I'm a Red Bull and Max Verstappen fan. Yeah, I really like my F1, but like, do you know when people say, oh, who do you support in F1? I'm like, nah, I don't roll like that, me. I just want to see a sick race. Do you know what I mean? I just want to see a mega race. So I really like F1. I'm proper into it, but I don't like, oh, I want this person to win, that person to win. I just kind of want there to never be, although this always happens, I just don't like it when there's domination. So I didn't like when Mercedes dominated with Lewis. I don't like Red Bull dominated with Matt. I kind of want it to be like just a mega race. I don't follow anyone. Maths with a 2. I have a 15-year-old nephew back home that supports City. Boom. There we go. And Wee Snooker says, I've been a City fan 25 years, but what actually is a plastic fan? I genuinely don't even know, man. What is a plastic fan? I don't know. There's no real definition, and that's probably why it gets branded about every 5 minutes, because no one actually knows what a thing is. Just a reminder, guys, I'm going to be going live in 5 minutes across on the other stream. We're going to be watching Scotland versus Ukraine. It's a members-only stream, so if you want to join us for that, we're going to be watching Scotland-Ukraine in the Nations League. Become an Xtra Club member. You can help support the channel. The link is in the description, and sometimes there's a join button below me, depending on what device you're on. So yeah, become an Xtra Club member, and you can get access to that. By the way, this should redirect everyone there anyway, so you don't have to go anywhere. Loyal Citizens, what's happening to Maboud? He's been linked out for ages. I think he'll probably leave next year. I said to Gavin, I said I'd be surprised if Borges and Maboud are still at Man City after next season, because I think they're both, in my opinion, better than the Premier League too. So I think they'll both move on. Is Jordan in jail? Nah, he had pre-engagements. Is that what it's called? Prior engagements. He had prior engagements, so he couldn't do it tonight. So I'm solo drilling it. Come on, Richard, man. That was basically aimed at you, innit? What's going to happen with Delap? Well, he's out on loan at the moment. I think he'll probably end up leaving. Hopefully City will get a good fee for him. How do you think Akanji has done so far? Says Raheem. I think he's done very, very well. How did you and Jordan meet? School? Frankie de Jong or Jude? I really don't like Frankie de Jong. I think he's overrated. But I also think that Jude Bellingham is probably overrated. But I prefer the way that Jude Bellingham plays football. So, Jude. But I'm not like massive, like, I'm not like buzzing about either of them, really. I'm buzzing about Jude in the sense that he's only 19. But I do think he's been overhyped, which I just think will hurt him in the long run. Professional idiot with a 5. A plastic fan is someone who only supports the most successful teams and switches every time they lose. There you go. That's the definition. Mark with a 5. Is this yours and Geordie's full-time job? It is now. I quit my full-time job. I quit my job not long ago. When was it? About 3 months ago, something like that. Big risk, of course, because I had a good job with a good salary in that, and now I'm doing this full time. So yeah, I took a pay cut to do it, but sometimes you've got to take a risk in life, innit? Do you know what I'm saying? I get a lot more free time. Sacrificed by the fact I don't get paid as much, but more free time. And yeah, it's nice just to be able to like go live, you know, whenever you want. Because one of the problems when I had a job is, say some news broke in the day, it'd be like we wouldn't be doing a stream or a video until like 6-7 hours later. Whereas now I can literally come round here within half an hour, or if they're miles away, we can just jump on some like webcam or whatever, and we can do a stream, and everyone's just like it's better for us. I think it's better for you guys because you get quicker content and quicker reactions, but. Yeah, it is our full-time job now. What did you work at? I used to work for an insurance company, Bray, in town, so yeah, that's what I used to do. It wasn't a fun job, but it was a well-paid job. Neil Sinner with a 5. Are we getting extra club bar back? City Xtra been part of life for 2 years. LB enjoyed it the best. It's good to hear, man. And I know you've been a long time viewer of the channel, Neil, man. So and I can see that by the GOAT badge in the membership. I don't think the club bar is coming back anytime soon. I think that was something that was there in the beginning, and sometimes you got to move on from stuff in it. And I think that's one of the things that we've moved on from. But it will always be remembered. It will always have a place in our hearts, Bray. I'm not really real Buffy, says my favourite animals are dolphins. 55 with a 5 says plastic fan is what other clubs like Liverpool United use as an insult because that's all they have against us other than the Champions League. Well, it's kind of stupid if they're saying that because they have one of the biggest fan bases in the world, and guess what, they're not all in England, you know what I mean, they're spread out all across the world, so everyone has fans from all across the world. Everyone has fans who dip in and out of the sport. You have the more loyal fans, the more that are just not that bothered, and they'll just say what they want when they want, but not really watching it. I just think it's just like petty. And I've probably called someone a plastic before. I'm not going to say I've not, but I mean, if someone's calling me, I'm just like, yeah, whatever, bro. I'm not listening. Do you know what I mean? I don't care. Nick Toll says, agreed. Always do what makes you happy over money. That's 100% agreed. I always think that's crucial. You know what I mean? I think a lot of times people chase the money, and I did when I was younger. You know what I mean? Younger, I still like to think I'm young, but money don't make you happy, guys. I promise you. I mean, you got to have a base mat. You got to have a baseline in it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying that quit your jobs and just don't have a job. That ain't gonna work. But I think once you get to a certain point, like money ain't the wave. Professional idiot with a 2. Penaldo or Pessi LB. Messi all day, mate. Messi's the GOAT. And Harsh says, there are not many City fans around me, so when I join City Xtra, it's like I can share my emotions with you guys. I feel like City Xtra, my family. My City family. Oh, that's nice, Brie. I love that. Boom, let's go. Yes, Dave. How you doing, man? Richard says, expect new subs. My mate are loving City Xtra and spreading the world. Good, man. That's what we want. If people enjoy the content. As I said, not everyone will enjoy what we do. That's fine. People got opinions, but hopefully we're here to have a good time. It's not that serious, and hopefully you guys can enjoy it as well. Have you ever heard of the English version of the Haaland song? Yeah, I've heard it. I actually just prefer the new one. Loyal City fans, what loaned out players do you think will do well when they are back? I'm a massive fan of Tommy Doyle. Well, I thought Kabore could do well, but he doesn't seem like he wants to come back at all. Not sure. It's a tricky one for me. I don't know if Tommy Doyle's quite got enough to make it at City. I wish him all the best and that, but I don't know if he's quite got enough. I hope he keeps on trying because he's got to have that ambition. McAtee, I think, has got enough, but again, just got to wait and see. I don't know if that's going to be the right move for him, going to Sheffield United. Gavin called it out at the time and said it's a bit of a risky move. Liam Delap could have. I feel that Liam Delap has the ability and the qualities to play at City, but I just don't think he is because of timings. I remember when Nader Manua came through at City, right? And I know the things went on in the background which sort of made the relationship a little bit worse. But I always feel with Manua, I believe he was a top-class centre-back. the worst part, the worst thing for me was the timing that he came through. Because when he came through and he was breaking through, City really wanted to be winning trophies. You know what I mean? We had Mancini came in, we wanted to win trophies, and I just think that basically it was just the wrong timing for him. So I think Delap's in the same sort of bracket, just the wrong timing. Darcy says, international fans are good for clubs because they grow reputation and overall size of the club. Correct. And of course, they bring revenue into the football club. Professional did it with the two. Check out Haaland's song from 442 Oons. I will check it out. I've watched their stuff before. They're quite funny. Neil Sinner says, people, what do you think about going unbeaten in the Prem? I've not got a bet on that, but I've got a few other bets on. Radio Axe with a 179. Bad news. Sprained my wrist against Derby today. Bro, you know what I mean? Stay focused, stay dedicated. Do you know what I'm saying? Shit happens in life. And, yeah, just move forward, innit? Do you know what I mean? No point in thinking about what's happened now. How can you recover quick? Get on the internet, mate. How can you recover? You know what I mean? What's the best things to be doing? What stretches and all that? Positive mindset, bro. MLK, who's your favourite City player that plays right now? Probably Gundogan. I'm loving Gundogan at the moment. Who is more important to our season, KDB or Haaland? Probably say Haaland now. But I'd have to have a think about it. But off the top of my head, probably Haaland. Do you think we'll buy Lavia back, LB? Probably not. Do you think Alvarez will have a good season even with Haaland there? Says Phil Foden. Yeah, I think he will. I just think it'll take him time to properly get into it. Right, guys, I'm going to end that one because I'm going to go over now to the Scotland-Ukraine game. Ukraine game. There we go. It should automatically redirect you. If you want to get involved, become an Xtra Club member. The link is in the description, and sometimes there's a join button below me. If you become an Xtra Club member, I'll give you a massive shout out, and you can come and watch the game with us. Enjoy the rest of your night, guys. For those that aren't joining me, I'll see you tomorrow, and for everyone else, I'll see you in a few moments. See you in a bit.